Can the world's automotive giant predict the future? Toyota's CEO boldly declares something unimaginable. Let's dig into the surprising truths and impacts of this bold claim. Toyota, which is the biggest car manufacturer in the world, has always had a different viewpoint when it comes to the swift transition to electric vehicles. While other automakers were investing heavily in EV technology, Toyota was still putting their money on hybrids and plug-in hybrids. They were kind of playing it safe. Interestingly, they only had one EV model, the BZ4X, in their entire range of cars, quite a unique strategy. So Toyota thought that there were many challenges to overcome before electric cars could truly become popular. They were looking at things like how much these cars cost, the high interest rates, and the fact that there weren't enough charging stations around. They thought these factors could stop people switching to EVs. It looks like Toyota's careful strategy is actually working out for them. After a few years of sizzling EV sales, things have started to chill a bit. Seems like a lot of buyers in the US aren't as excited about EVs as they used to be. The high costs and interest rates have made EVs a bit less appealing to them. So while the EV market's cooling off, hybrid vehicles are really taking off. They're actually growing faster than the overall US car market. Toyota's hybrids are leading the charge. Models like the new Prius, Corolla Cross Hybrid, and even big hybrids like the Sequoia SUV and Tundra pickup are flying off the shelves. In fact, Toyota dealers can hardly keep the Prius in stock. They only have about a week's supply compared to over 2 months' worth of their electric SUV, the BZ4X. So it's not just Toyota that's rethinking its approach to electric vehicles. Other big players like General Motors and Ford are also starting to shift gears. They're calling back on their EV goals and putting more resources into hybrids. For example, General Motors decided to halt the opening of a new factory in Michigan for their electric pickup truck. And Ford? They're thinking about cutting back on the number of shifts at the plant where they make their electric F-150 Lightning pickup. Seems like the demand for the truck isn't as strong as they expected. So it seems like Toyota's having its "I told you so" moment. They've always believed that EVs weren't the only way to reduce carbon emissions and that there were many ways to achieve carbon neutrality. And now the auto industry is starting to realize that Toyota might have been right all along. You know, it's really interesting how Toyota took a different path from the rest of the car industry when it came to electric vehicles. Instead of going all out on EVs, they decided to focus more on hybrids and plug-in hybrids. Now, as the electric car market faces some challenges and sales of hybrid vehicles are increasing, it's like Toyota's having a bit of a victory lap. They stuck to their guns and it looks like the strategy is working out for them. It's quite the plot twist. What do you think about Akio Toyoda's perspective on the EV market and its future? Toyota's take on electric vehicles is really something else. While a lot of car makers are betting big on electric vehicles, Toyota's playing a different game. He reckons that the shift to EVs is going to take longer than most people expect. Plus, he's skeptical about the idea of rules that would ban gas cars being easy to put into place. It's a pretty unique viewpoint. Toyota's game plan for Toyota is to keep putting their money into a whole spectrum of electrified vehicles, not just fully electric cars and trucks. We're talking hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and even fuel cell electric vehicles. By the time we hit 2030, Toyota's aim is to sell 3.5 million battery electric vehicles every year and have 30 battery electric vehicle models on offer across the Toyota and Lexus lines. They're planning to pour around $70 billion into electrified vehicles worldwide, which includes hybrids, plug-in hybrids, fuel cell electric vehicles, and battery electric vehicles. And from that amount of money, they're looking to invest around $35 billion in battery electric vehicles from 2022 through to 2030. Despite criticism from some investors and environmental groups, Toyota's sticking to his strategy. He believes that offering a wide range of powertrains, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, and all-electric battery models, will please the widest possible range of customers. Toyota also expressed his love for cars and stated that he wants his legacy to be "I love cars." He believes that doing things differently and doing things that others may question will put Toyota in the winner's circle the longest. So what's Toyota's thoughts on the future of cars? He has a unique perspective on the future of cars. He's not focusing only on all-electric vehicles. Instead, he's spreading his bets across different types of electrified vehicles. He thinks the shift to electric cars isn't going to be as quick as some people think, so he believes offering a mix of powertrain options is the best way to meet the diverse needs of customers worldwide. Now let's talk about why Toyota thinks Toyota has a smarter solution. Toyota's approach to EVs isn't just about producing electric cars, it's about creating a sustainable mobility ecosystem. This ecosystem includes clean energy, smart cities, and a reduced carbon footprint. Toyota's road to electric vehicles actually began with hybrids. Remember the Toyota Prius that came out in the late 90s? It really put hybrids on the map and became a worldwide symbol of this halfway point to going fully electric. By getting really good at hybrid tech first, Toyota laid the groundwork for their future plans in the fully electric space. Did you know Toyota's also putting the money into solid-state battery tech? This is the next big thing in batteries, promising quicker charge times, more energy packed into a smaller space, and a longer life. It's not just about jumping on the EV trend for Toyota, they're aiming to potentially revolutionize the whole game. Toyota hasn't been going it alone, you know. They've been teaming up with tech firms, other car makers, and energy companies, and the goal is to tackle everything from making batteries to setting up charging stations. Sure, Toyota's hybrids have been a hit, no question about it, but some people think that they were a bit late in getting started with fully electric cars. By the time Toyota really started to zero in on EV brands like Tesla, had already carved out a pretty big slice of the market. It's an interesting debate. You know, one of the big hurdles for any car maker in the EV game is infrastructure, especially when it comes to charging stations, and for a worldwide brand like Toyota, they've got to make sure their electric vehicles have the support they need in all sorts of markets. Each with their own level of readiness when it comes to infrastructure. It's quite a challenge. The development of solid-state batteries is filled with technological challenges. While they promise a range of advantages, the practical realization of these batteries on a mass scale remains a daunting task. You know, after being the top dog in the hybrid world for so long, Toyota has now got to convince everyone that they can be just as big in the all-electric scene. It's a bit of a branding hurdle. It's going to take some time and a lot of proof that they've got what it takes in the EV department. Toyota's strategy when it comes to electric vehicle market is really one of a kind and has many layers. They're all about a mix of powertrain options and see hybrids as kind of a stepping stone to the era of electric. Despite the criticism, they remain committed to their vision of sustainable mobility and continue to innovate in the face of a rapidly evolving automotive landscape. The title of the world's biggest automaker is often a close race between two companies, Volkswagen Group and Toyota. As of 2024, Volkswagen Group, a German automotive giant, is the largest automaker in terms of revenue. However, in terms of the number of vehicles produced, Toyota, a Japanese company, takes the lead. In 2021, Toyota produced 10.5 million vehicles, a 10% increase from the previous year. In 2024, the world of electric vehicles really took off. Almost 17 million EVs found new homes around the globe. That's more than 20% of all cars sold. It's clear that electric vehicles aren't just a niche product anymore, they're going mainstream in countries all over the world. In the United States, the EV market also experienced growth. In just the first 3 months of 2024, over 102,000 all-electric cars were sold. Big names like Ford, Kia, BMW and Hyundai each sold more than 10,000 EVs. But interestingly, the growth wasn't as fast as in previous years. Maybe folks were holding out for better charging options and battery tech. But hey, despite that, the overall trend for electric vehicle sales in the US and across the globe is looking up. With the head of Toyota questioning the rise of electric vehicles, the game is really heating up. What implications does this shocking statement have for the future of travel? Comment your thoughts on this and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.